addicted to Withings products. We try to search you guys out every single year, and I actually put a Withings scale on my Christmas this year, and I gave my husband Steve a BMO for his Christmas gift. But I am here with Caroline Lagarde of Withings, and we're going to talk about a new product. Maybe we should have waited and got me this one for Christmas.
So I think you're going to be able to get this product next year for Christmas, because it's going to be delivered in Q2 2026. Maybe to explain why we developed this new scale at Withings, I'll give you some context. So at Withings, we stated that our modern life changed the way we live. So we eat on the go, we sleep a lot less, we are under pressure. So because of this, there is a big increase of chronic disease all around the world. And so this chronic disease develops silently for years before they are declared. And the goal of Body Scan 2 is to detect the early signs of this chronic disease before it's too late.
Oh, wow. So this isn't just about seeing how fat you are.
Yeah, exactly.
By the way, I would like to thank the company for, if you try to weigh yourself on your birthday, it just says happy birthday, and it will not tell you how much you weigh. Whoever wrote that into the software, let them know. Yeah. So this is called Body Scan 2. So yes. It looks like a scale, but it's got some sort of sensor thing up at maybe arm height.
Yeah, exactly. So this is a handle, and so we embedded the display in the handle so that it's easier for the user to look at the data and the results on the screen. And we also added 2 interactive buttons so that the person can interact with the scale.
Oh, okay.
And in fact, I'm talking about the scale, but it's a lot more than a scale. So this is longevity station.
Longevity station.
Exactly.
Okay. So what does it measure?
Yeah, so at every weigh-in, you're going to get a complete assessment of your cardiovascular health and metabolic health.
Cardiovascular and metabolic. Okay.
Metabolic health, yes, okay. Exactly. And so based on this, we're going to give you your health trajectory, so which is your path to longevity. So it's whether you're gaining, losing years or gaining healthy years. And so based on this, we're going to give you advices whether you should keep on sleeping more or doing more activities and so on to improve this health trajectory.
Oh, interesting. I do know that my scale told me I was dehydrated after New Year's, and that's inexplicable why it said that. But yeah, what kind of
very powerful. More than 60 biomarkers that are measured on this scale.
Really? So this is all just from your feet on the scale?
Feet and handle. So here you can see this is a sensor, this is a sensor, this is a sensor and a sensor, and here is a sensor also inside.
So you're holding it. Show me how you hold it.
You're holding
it
like this.
Okay, so she's holding this long black plastic piece, but she's got her thumb on 2 sensors, and then her palms and your fingers wrapped around her on exactly. The sensors underneath. Okay.
Yes, exactly. And so maybe I can give you the 3 key points of this scale. So first of all, it detects hypertension risk. So it sends you a notification when you've got hypertension risk.
I thought you had to measure blood pressure in order to do hypertension.
So we don't measure the tension, the blood pressure directly on the body, but we tell you whether you've got a risk of hypertension. See what I mean? This is a screening. This is not monitoring.
Oh, okay. So if your body characteristics would likely give you hypertension, exactly. It's going to say, hey, might want to keep an eye on.
Yeah, sure, exactly. So we've got many different data. We put all of them in the AI predictive model, and then this, based on clinical studies we've made, is going to give you whether you're high or low on this risk.
Wow. So how do you protect our data?
So we've got, we don't sell our data to anyone, and we follow all the regulations in Europe and in the USA.
Okay, but your data does not stay local, correct?
So our data center...
it's not local on my device. It's not going straight to my iPhone and then nowhere else. Is it going to your servers?
There are data centers that Withings own, and that is the property of Withings. And then this only goes for the user in their application. Okay. And in fact, you can download all the information we collect on you whenever you want on your account, and you can also ask to delete them. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. That's great. That's good. Say the word AES encryption at some point in the story, and we'll be good.
And maybe that's the two other novelties I didn't talk about it. So I talked about hypertension risk, and then we measure the heart age also. So until now we had an electrocardiogram, so to measure the responsiveness of your heart to order to beat. So
say that one more time. Measure the heart for what?
So you've got we already measure electrocardiogram. So electrocardiogram.
Okay, an ECG.
Yes, exactly, okay. ECG. So this is the order that your heart receives to beat, and then the heart beats, and then it pumps blood. So this is what we measure. We measure the efficiency of the ejection of the blood, so the pumping efficiency of the heart, and we vulgarize it in a heart age. And then we've got the vascular age, which we already had on body scan 1, which gives you the stiffness of your arteries. So now we've got all the way for your cardiovascular health.
Holy cow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And what's the third one?
The third one, so this is a long-term impact of an unstable glycemic regulation on your body. So this is a little bit complicated. Let me explain.
Okay. So, I'm bracing myself for the challenge.
Sure.
Here we go.
So we don't come to measure directly your glucose in your body, but we measure if there's an impact of an unstable glycemic on your body. So for example, if your nerves are deteriorated, if you've got visceral fat at some places where you shouldn't have, how much visceral fat you have, your artery stiffness, all of these data, we put them in an AI model, and which predicts whether there is an impact or not. So if there is an unstable glycemia or not.
So how would you know where my visceral fat is?
So,
I mean, I got some, but I don't understand how the scale is going to tell me where it is if I've got my hands and my feet.
Sure.
You don't know if it's on my hips or my nose.
In fact, so we've got different electrodes everywhere, so we can make different circuits in your body. So if we decide to connect the two electrodes from your feet, current will go from one foot to another one. So it's going to be only in the legs part.
Through the waist, yeah.
Yes, exactly. So if we take between the two hands, then it's going to be in between the two hands. So we can decide where to measure everything based on which electrodes we switch on or switch off.
Yeah, if you go from my right foot to my left arm, you're going to find that visceral fat right there. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, that's really interesting.
Exactly.
So that's why it's important to have this, what do you call the upper piece?
Handle.
The handle. And you had that on the version 1, but this is a version 2 that's going to be coming out, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, well, I think I know what I'm going to ask for Christmas. Do you have a price point yet for the...
Yes, so in Europe, in the US, sorry.
She just looked at my badge, that was cute. No, I've got European listeners. I want to know for New Zealand too.
For New Zealand too. New Zealand is not yet ready, but so in the US it's going to be $599.
Okay, great. And the name of this model one more time.
Body Scan 2.
Body Scan 2, and Steve has a question. And when is that coming out? In February, did you say?
Q2 2026. So Q2, it's...
Q2, yeah, second quarter of 2026. Very good. So if people want to find out about all the things that you do at Withings, where would they go? Withings.com?
Withings.com, yeah, sure.
Okay, WITHINGS.com. Thank you so much. This is fascinating, Caroline.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Yeah.